If we really landed on the moon,
then why haven't we ever gone back?
In 1970, we were sending rockets to the moon. That's true.
When I was a kid, we had spaceships, and we had this thought that it was going to be spaceships, and then the next thing was going to be colonies, and then we were just going to keep pushing out for the lunar colony first, and then Mars was going to be next, and we were just going to keep going, and this was our destiny.
It's true that, if you were alive in 1970, you probably would have assumed that by the year 2024, we'd be landing humans on the moons of Jupiter, right by now.
Fantasyland is dedicated to the young and the young in heart.
To those who believe that when you wish upon a star, your dreams do come true.
Time is 1986. The place is a city of the future, where a trip to the moon is an everyday thing. Time is 1986.
We didn't get there.
They don't seem to have ever gotten back to that basic idea of human progress.
Why?
The question is
there something that the U.S. government isn't telling us?
Deception and warfare goes back to early history.
To understand how a person can exploit another person, you kind of have to think a little bit about how the mind works.
The broad masses of a nation are always more easily corrupted in the deeper strata of their emotional nature than consciously or voluntarily. And thus, in the primitive simplicity of their minds, they're more readily fall victims to the big lie than the small lie.
In the old days, we called it brainwashing, where you repeat something and then it becomes true. That's hijacking this feature of our evolutionary brain. So you try to sift through what is true, and it must be that which was repeated often enough.
They understand that works, that people can be psychologically conditioned to believe anything. They could quite literally lead people not to believe their own eyes if you just say it enough times.
You are comfortable in your ignorance, and you don't even know your ignorance because you came to it from having learned, but only up to a point.
Some people don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with the reality of how evil our institutions are.
They're not only controlling the information you receive, they're shaping how you receive it, which has an effect on how you then behave. How you create a worldview. You create an understanding of how things are, either because someone convinced you or you convinced yourself. Now there's a gap, or there's some information that conflicts with it. So you're going to say, if you cherish this worldview, that information that conflicts with it was falsified, or that was wrong. They don't know what they're doing. You can maintain your worldview. I'm talking about the universe, black holes, the Big Bang, time travel, God. But what I'm going to do is teach you how to think. Train your mind.
This is the next chapter of human space exploration.
We are going.
We're going.
We are going.
We are going.
We're going.
Back to the moon, back to the future, and this time back to stay.
Within a decade.
By 2020.
By 2024.
By 2025.
2026.
2027.
33. It's 2033.
Will return American astronauts to the moon.
And this is how.
Mission equity. The Artemis program isn't just named for a woman. It's largely being run by women.
We've diversified.
Gay scientists.
Hispanic doctors.
Black engineers.
Our success as a team relies on
celebrating the LGBT lifestyle.
T in particular.
We celebrate it every day.
I am a transgender woman. I am NASA.
It's just becoming the new normal.
We are committed to inclusion.
I'm able to be gay.
I am gay.
NASA, we're on a mission of equity to use science, data, and technology to advance equity.
And so we all know that diversity in space is needed.
We're going to the moon.
We're not going anywhere.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
It was recently reported that NASA is considering changing the mission profile for Artemis 3. The potential change in profile would result in a mission where astronauts do not land on the lunar surface, but rather remain in low Earth orbit. Is NASA actively considering an alternative mission profile for Artemis 3? What's going on, Mr. Administrator?
Obviously, we're not going to fly at that time. Just simply not going to fly it.
Until it's ready.